Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Drop in the comments what you are up to for the holidays. I'm not sure. Canadians, do you celebrate the Easter holiday? Not sure. Okay. I don't know all the ins and outs of as far as that goes. But anyway, we are going to have a fun call tonight with we are going to have a product spotlight, and this is something that we would like to start doing weekly on our calls. That's going to help to give us some information to be able to share in our stories and share on our pages and help our customers. And then we are also going to have some red carpet training coming from Teresa. So Susan, I am going to hand it over to you to do the product spotlight tonight and the shares.
Okay. Spotlight. We overwhelmingly voted for Liquid BioCell as our favorite product. And I guess there's no surprise there, but I wanted to find some things that maybe we haven't heard as much, or maybe didn't know or think about. So you already asked me to come up with 3 benefits. So, okay, we know that collagen damage is due to all the aging, pollutants, stress, all kinds of things, like just life. But there are over 16 types of collagen. We just hear about types 1, 2, and 3 because they're the most often used, but sourcing is important. Now, I didn't know that marine collagen is actually too small to be absorbed. It goes right through. The bovine is too big. The plant we know is not really collagen. It's more of a collection of ingredients that are designed to help boost your own body's collagen. But if you're already losing the battle, like in my age, you've already lost half, you kind of want to push it a little bit more. So I know I didn't either, Heather. So chicken, apparently we have one that's sourced from chicken that is a matrix. And so that mirrors what our own body makes, so it's absorbed. And that's very unique. So we have 7 US and international patents. We also have PubMed studies, independent studies. There are 2. There's one on microcirculation in your skin. There's another one on its effect on osteoarthritis. So it really does speak very highly of it. But the second thing I wanted to remind you of is this is the only collagen matrix that actually counteracts the enzyme that makes your skin age, that hyaluronidase. I keep forgetting to talk about that to people. And lastly, sublingual delivery. There are a number of people that think that collagen can't work because it's going to be destroyed in the gut because the gut is so acidic by design. But see, we get around that because when we put it in our mouth, right away, it's being absorbed directly into your bloodstream. That's why the inside of your mouth is red. It's just full of red blood cells. And, that's why it works so well.
Susan?
So, yeah.
Can you rewind there back to the very beginning, not the very beginning of the last sentence where you used a term there with what it actually does to your skin?
The hyaluronidase.
Yeah, can you repeat that whole part?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hyaluronidase is an enzyme that actually makes your skin age. And so we actually have, like, our collagen matrix actually counteracts that. But the sublingual delivery too, I didn't realize. There was a gal that went to a number of med spas, and the doctor said, well, it won't work orally because it's destroyed in the gut because the gut's so acidic. Well, she goes, well, we're sublingual, we're a liquid, so it's going to be absorbed starting in the mouth. And she went, oh, okay. So I hadn't really thought of that. I also asked 2 friends to give us the top reason of why they love Liquid BioCell. And first is Kathleen. You can come off mute and just tell us, what do you love about Liquid BioCell?
All right. Hi, everybody. So Liquid BioCell, I take skin, and I had bought it originally for my hip pain. And about 2 months into taking it, I noticed my eczema that was on both of my shins, both of my ankles, and across the top of both of my feet had almost completely healed up. And so I did some more research on it because we know our skin is affected by our gut. So I did some more research on our collagen, and found out it was healing my GI tract, in turn healing my skin. So I was like 100% in on the BioCell for life.
Terrific. Thank you. That's a terrific share. I didn't even know that story. I just picked you. So there you go. My other likely partner in crime here is Sherry Smolka. Sherry, are you able to talk? I know you were Easter shopping for your grandkids. She did warn me of that, so she was going to try to get on. But if she's not able to talk, I'll just tell you that she told
Sorry, Susan, I'm here.
There you are, there you are.
I'm on my phone and I couldn't get the stupid mute to turn off.
Okay, go ahead. What's your favorite thing about the Liquid BioCell, Sherry?
Well, you just said my granddaughters, but yeah, I mean, I had spine surgery about 7-8 years ago. So I have a cage and 4 screws in my lower back. And even after my surgery, I always had discomfort, not to mention my aging knees, but that's the like internal thing that I love most about the BioSil, because I've been taking it religiously twice a day for the last almost 2.5 years. And I also take trim once a day just because I like the CLA, and you know, one of these days I'll have enough money to get a facelift and whatever. But when I look at pictures from prior to starting on any of the BioSil products, and I use the skincare as well. But when I look at pictures from 3 years ago compared to now, like, you can visibly see even my neck is more firm, my face is more firm, my fine lines are literally fine lines, and I'm going to be 60 in December. So, you know, I'd love to get some Botox, because these, WTF lines between my eyebrows are getting pretty deep. But other than those, like, I don't really have many wrinkles. They're very fine lines. I mean, you guys have seen me without makeup in person. My brown spots, like I have a scar on my face that runs from the side of my lip down my jaw. And I don't wear makeup. I might wear mascara and lipstick, and you can't even notice it. Like, people don't notice it anymore. And my little brown spots that I had on my cheeks, I'm half Polish, half Italian, so it's genetic as well. And if you saw my mom when she was alive and my grandmother, their spots were very visible. Like, they used to call them liver spots.
Yeah.
You can't even really see them on my face at all. But the reason that I really love it is just like my back feels so much better. And my granddaughters are almost 2 and almost 5, and I have them every weekend. And this week, even though I work Monday through Friday, I'm still going to have them tomorrow night, Friday night. And I pick them up, like, I carry them everywhere, and I feel great. Like, I run around with them. We go to the beach, we do everything. And I don't know that I would be quite as pain-free. I'd still be active, but I probably wouldn't be with the really no discomfort that I have now since I've started taking these products.
Terrific. Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome.
That's it. Product spotlight number 1.
Thank you. Thank you guys for sharing your stories, Kathleen and Sherry. I really appreciate you being willing to talk and share, and Susan for bringing your friends with you and giving us the spotlight. They made it in the spotlight as well. All right. So we're going to head to Teresa, and she's going to talk to us tonight about some red carpet service for customers. She has some great shares. So, you can watch the recording or make sure you're taking some notes. Go ahead, Teresa, take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Susan. I even knew some of this stuff that you said, and I still wrote it down because you forget to talk about some of those things, like the hyaluronidase and how BioCell combats that. So it's good to have a refresher and to go back to basics in that. Thank you, Kathleen and Sherry. You do not need a facelift. Like you said, we have seen you. You don't need that. Just to let you know. Okay, so we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is customer service. So show of hands, or just put something in the chat. In a perfect world, how many of you would love to see 100% customer retention in your pods? Like every single person's hand's going to go up, right? You don't even have to put it in the chat. But we know that the likelihood of that is slim to none, but there are definitely actions that we can take to keep more people, more retention over time. And you're going to have to excuse me. I have tons of things on my brain. So I'm going to be looking down at my notes. But we can keep that retention level higher rather than lower by upping our red carpet service. Somebody said that one time. They said red carpet service, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do that." So I actually have 10 steps for that red carpet service. I will put this in the Lighthouse Leaders, or it's not leaders, just the Lighthouse page. But first, I want to share something with you. Okay, so if you've been around in network marketing for a while, you all probably know about the funnel in prospecting. And the more people that you put into the funnel, eventually they're going to drip out the bottom, right? So show of hands here, you know, if you've heard this, not, it's going to say it wrong, analogy. That's it. There we go. Analogy. It's been a long, long day. But once they fall out the bottom, where do they go? They go into your bucket or your customer pod, right? So now's when the real work begins, and we all know that. But in the bottom of that bucket, there's a hole as well. And it's our choice to see if it's going to be to make up if it's going to be a pinhole size hole, or if it's going to be a golf ball size hole. And what that is the attrition that comes out of the bucket. And Heather's like, you have to tell this story about the bucket, this analogy. And I'm like, I love this, but I feel like I'm jacking it all up. So if I am, I'm sorry, I'll let Heather tell it again. But I loved it because it's true. The better customer service that we have, then the less attrition that we're going to have. And we're all going to have attrition. So it's just something that you have to get used to. And it's just something that you can't let it bother you. As we talked about on a call the other day, you have to have some, what I call rhino skin, something I heard a long time ago, get thicker skin and be okay with that. Just like in the gym, it's a constant turnover, regulars, but then there's always people that are coming and going. And it's just a part of sales. It's a part of life. And it's just something that we have to get used to. But if we can keep those golf ball size holes out of the bottom of that bucket from losing too many people, that's amazing. Okay, so we have come up with the top 10 customer service activities to help you avoid those golf ball size holes in the bottom of that bucket. And before anybody, especially if you're tuning in, before anybody gets overwhelmed that, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have time to do 10 activities every day, it's okay. What we want you to do is want you to look at what you're doing currently and maybe pick something off this list or 2 things off this list that you're not currently doing, or maybe that you got away from, and bring that back into what you are on your daily or your weekly to-dos. So the first one is following with the new customer checklist. Now mine came out super blurry that I printed out, so I can't read it exactly, but a lot of these on here in the new customer checklist are also on this list here. They might just be worded a little bit differently. But this is a great tool right here. When I first came here and Heather sent this along with the trackers to me, I was like, well, if this doesn't make it super simple to bring on a new customer and a new SM for the new SM checklist, then nothing else is going to. Because if I check off all these boxes, then that means that I did my job, at least in the beginning. Things on here are like making sure that your new customer is in the real results room, tagging them in posts that are going to have something to do with what they are like if somebody starts on BioCell, tag them in some BioCell posts, do a little bit of research. It's super easy. You could just go in there, put BioCell or joint health or something like that, anything at the very top in the search bar, and a whole bunch of things will come up. It talks on here about the Modere, like about the app, not the Life app, but just the regular shopping app. I always say right away before even somebody signs up, download this app. and help them post, discussing a bunch of the different things about it, having some proper expectations on how you talk to them. 5-day check-in, 2-week check-in, talk to them about the subscribe and save. And I'm going to give you some tips here tonight on how something to make it super easy that to change that subscribe and save conversation right off the bat, even before somebody orders. Okay, so the first one is making sure you're keeping up with that customer checklist. Number 2 is tagging current customers and even friends, or maybe people that you want to be your customers, in your stories. That doesn't mean, being that person that is doing the at everyone that everyone hates, but tag them in some things here and there. It's more for engagement and putting polls on your stories, putting questions on your stories, and maybe tagging a couple of people. And it's just going to get them probably interacting, because they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, she tagged me in this, so I should probably respond. So getting them involved, getting your customers involved, especially if you're posting about something and you have customers that are getting those results, tag them in that as well. Number 3 is weekly messages. And these don't have to be all Modere. This is about creating a relationship past the sale. This is something that that I've heard from customers, not just in other companies, but even within our company. And people are like, well, this person talked to me and talked to me and talked to me and was all buddy with me until they got the sale. And then it was like they were on to the next one. And then I heard nothing from them. Don't be that person. Be that person that continues to foster that relationship and be that, giving that red carpet service. So whether the weekly messages are saying, hey, how you doing a check-in, to, talking about something on their story, you can engage that way, on their posts, or text messages, however you interact with that person, just continuing to foster that relationship. Number 4, printing out your customer pod or your active customer pod. If you have a really big customer pod and maybe a lot of them aren't ordering, maybe to do this part right here, you start with your active customers from the last month, last couple of months, I know I've done it with the last 6 months. So you can do a search in there for the last 6 months. And those are the ones that a lot of times that if I'm doing something specific, I will actually print that out and really get engaged with them. But what you want to do here, what I do with this, is that I make sure I'm engaging on social media with those customers, especially my active customers. Again, it's just another way of fostering that relationship. And as we know, if you're engaging with them, they're going to see more of your stuff. All right. So number 5, send out some value every month. So Jody is the master of this. I don't know about all the rest of you, but I know that Jody is the master of this. And I told her the other day, I said, I want to be your customer because I just want to get your recipes once a month. So can I just be your pseudo customer in there? But send something of value out. It doesn't have to be Modere, but it's just another thing, creating that customer relationship, which is customer service as well. So whether you put something out, whether it is a promo and you put something out about that, or whether it's a fun fact that you have found out about like collagen with the hyaluronidase and how BioCell fights that, fun fact things, happy springtime, there's any number of things that you can do. You can look up things, or even just a fun meme or something like that. But that's just keeping in contact. All right. Number 7, I love ever since anniversary credits came out. I love this. I am on top of this. And so if you didn't already know, which probably the most of you do, this is the last month that there's going to be the $50 once a year anniversary credits. Starting in May, it's going to be every 6 months. They're going to get $25 in anniversary credits. So you know what that means, right? You're going to be talking to these people more and more and more, and creating more and more customer relationship, hopefully. Something that I suggest personally that I do is I will actually let them know, hey, if they're not ordering, I'll let them know, hey, I know that you're not ordering the products right now. I have a bunch of really good ideas to keep you at that $50 mark. And you can go with that $25 mark when that comes up. And what that does is it also shows them that you're not just in that for the sale. You're not just reaching out to them for the sale. I've had several people start ordering again because of it. They're like, you know what? I've been meaning to do this anyway. So they jump back in on what they were using before. I've had people try different things and then continue using that. And then I have people that just totally ghost the heck out of it and they don't say a word. And that is perfectly fine as well. Again, we just have to have that rhino skin and be like, okay, you know what? I reached out, I did my job, and it's okay. All right, number 8, we're almost there. Testimonials. So we want to talk about not just putting pretty little images up in our stories and if you have customer groups and tagging people, but we want to let our customers and we want to let other people know why we love them. Why do we love these products that we talk about so much? Giving them testimonies. And I think one of the best testimonies that you can give is from somebody that you know, whether that's your own customer or whether that's somebody on the team. Rather than just using other teams' testimonies. We have so many amazing testimonies right here on our SMs, let alone in all of our customers. So being able to share those and use those right there is incredible. So ask your customers. This morning, I have a customer, her name is Francie. She's one of my clients at the studio as well. And she is an esthetician. She actually has her own line of skincare, but she's loving BioCell because it's helping her knees. And she's just like, and she's hooked. So she's telling all of her clients about Modere and about BioCell, even though she uses she knows that we have the cell proof, but she still loves it enough to be able to do that. So I asked her, I said, can I do like a little testimony? I'll take a picture of you doing a squat next week in class and or in your session and put up. She's like, oh my gosh, yeah. She's like, let's share it. Let's let everybody know. So ask your customers, ones that are loving it, if you can do that. And like for her, I'm going to put her in real results as well. So there's something else that you can do, asking your customers about that. Number 1, if they say yes, it's going to make them feel good. When you're actually posting about them and when you're putting it in real results and they get that tag again and again and again of somebody, tagging somebody from somewhere else, tagging another person in that, it actually feels good. I know I put something in when I first started and I still have people tagging on it every now and then. I'm like, oh, good. Okay. Number 9, super important. This is for before the sale and after the sale. And that's giving some proper expectations. I think that there's a lot of times in a lot of different industries and even our industry where people you want to give the best scenario all the time because you want people to get it in their bodies and use it. Well, things don't always happen at the same speed that they did for you or that they did for another customer. So I know for me, I set the expectation. This is not a quick fix. I will literally tell people this is not a quick fix. My suggestion is use this for at least 90 days because some people it works in the first month. Some people start seeing in the second month. Some people start seeing in the third month and some it's even after that. I told like 4 people that in the last couple of days. And this woman today, she's like, don't worry, this is a lifestyle change for me. So one of the easiest things to do when you set this proper 90-day or 3-month expectation of using these products before they stop or before they decide that it might not be for them is that the subscribe and save conversation gets so much easier, even though I don't think it's hard to begin with because you give it, they can say no if they want to, and you just have to be like, okay, it's fine. It's your loss. Now you don't want to say that, but right here, that 90 days, they're already going to be doing it for the next 3 months. So they might as well take advantage of the loyalty rewards. So letting them know about that even if they're getting 2 bottles of BioCell, you're going to get an additional 5% off. And now starting in May, you're going to get double that starting in your next month. So because next month that switches over from the $20 to it's going to be the both loyalty rewards. So proper expectations right from the beginning. Plus it sets it up in their brain subconsciously that I'm going to be ordering this more than one time. And that's something that I really like too. I like to always put that in there. I do that at the gym. I do that with Modere. That this, they just put it in there that it's not just a 1-month thing. And then bundles. Don't hesitate to show people bundles, even after the sale, even after the original sale. Customers are using the products, and you can see that they need to 1-up to get to the next level of their loyalty rewards. just put something out there because you never know. I mean, if somebody can add a hand soap for $6.49, or it might have gone up, I don't know. But if somebody can get that for $7 and then it knocks another $15 off their order, if they say no, okay, their loss. But go ahead and just put it out there every now and then. They say no, it's perfectly okay. But if they say yes, it's going to up their order basket, which they're upping their order basket. Obviously, that's good for us, but it also is going to help them in the long run. So you take that off of what it is for you and what it and put it on them of the benefit for them, and it's always a good thing. Okay. That is about all I have. Like I said, I will put this in the lighthouse so that you guys can take a look at it and use it. And I encourage you, if there's something on this list that you're not currently doing, pick 1 or 2 things on there and go for the next month and do those things. If you're like, hey, I got this, you know, I do so much more than you do, Teresa. Please reach out to me and let me know what else you do that I didn't already cover, because I would love to know. Because I want to put it into what I do then as well.
Does anybody think that anybody is doing more than what Teresa's already doing?
I didn't mean it like that. After it came out, I'm like, well, crap. I didn't come out right. I just meant if you have any other ideas for customer service, please let me know, because I would love, you know, I'm always open. I'm always open to new things and different things.
We knew what you meant, Teresa, but it was just funny. I love your confidence. You were on a roll, girl. You're on your confidence roll. So thank you so much. You guys, I really appreciate you joining the call tonight, taking your time out. And does anyone have any questions before we close up? Yeah, Susan.
I do want to just say one thing, since I talked about sublingual delivery of the collagen. Heather had put in there, you got to swish it around for 10 seconds. I'd actually heard 30 seconds. So, I mean, I count. I'm in there just counting. 20, come on, don't just swallow it. You got 10 more seconds, let's do it. But I mean, the longer you can, actually, the more absorption you're going to get immediately. So just FYI.
Okay, well, I need to start swishing more. I need to start spending more time swishing. I just like guzzle. So that's good to know.
Yeah, anyway, it doesn't have to be under the tongue, by the way, Heather.
It doesn't have to be?
It does not have to be.
There he goes,
Okay.
Teresa. That can be we can do a new reel on swishing. Swish, swish, swish.
There you go.
All right. Does anyone else have any other questions? Heather.
Real quick, just a reminder that next week we have a guest speaker. So definitely tell your teams about that to be on. It's going to be all about referral posts and growing your market outside of your warm market. So
Gonna be a hot one. You don't want to miss it.
yes, so make sure you're on and tell your teams and make sure that they're on.
Yep. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great holiday if you celebrate the Easter holiday. And we will see you next week. Love you guys.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for all your shares.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, ladies.